No. Do you know the thing with statues? What always gets me with statues is statues are largely murderers, right? So it's largely like Duke of Wellington. Anyone who's killed like thousands of people, they get the occasional scientist, but it's largely murderers, right? So for that plinth, what we should have done is just got up famous murderers, right? Not just to start, get a karaoke machine, right? And we vote on what the song is, and they come up. They don't even know what the song is, and it's just fucking Peter Sutcliffe, and he gets up and got a good job in the city. Okay, I was struggling with that. Struggling with that fucking topic. Hopefully it'll get brushed over. Thank you. Thank you for laughing at that weird Peter Sutcliffe singing mime that I attempted. Okay. Right, back into scenes we'd like to see, and this one is things you wouldn't hear from a weather forecaster. Temperatures are going to reach 31 degrees today. Shit, I've left my baby in the car! High pressure this weekend as I attempt to persuade my mistress to have an abortion. There's going to be a huge depression over Scotland, and now the weather. It may rain heavily later on, but I'm inside and you're inside. Who gives a shit? And now the weather for people who are not that bothered. It might rain later, and then it'll probably be all right for a bit. The outlook for the weekend is bright. I've got 3 grams of coke in my pocket and my wife's on holiday. Very hot this week. Good news for sunbathers, bad news for my urges. There's going to be a hosepipe ban after the tragic deaths of David Carradine and Michael Hutchins. This week's going to be hotter than Amanda Holden's arsehole at an army Christmas party. Talking of damp fronts, back to Fiona. There's a cold snap coming up, so remember to check on elderly neighbours. You might get some free milk and newspapers. I was going to say that it's going to rain cats and dogs, but due to this tornado, it's actually going to be raining post boxes and the disabled. It's going to be very hot in London, but particularly hot where I live in Stevenage, so you might want to get down to your bras and panties. Hello, I'm Rob McElwee, and I've just been asked to do 50 dates at the O2 Arena. Okay, we'll lose the abortion. Leave it in. Yeah, exactly. It's the last thing you want to hear at an abortion. Who's playing the hokey cokey at this? Okay, let's do this. Oh, fucking Wimbledon. Yeah, I'm just fucking muttering to myself now like a fucking tramp. Don't worry about it. Okay, we've got to do that. We have the headliners round thing, which I always lose badly at and barely get anything included because I hate it. I think it's a shit thing. And this week it's fucking Wimbledon, right? And it's fucking Roger Federer fucking collecting the trophy at Wimbledon, and it's the initials RBWF. I just can't tell you how bad my efforts are, how half-heartedly I wrote these in the Apple Store on Regent Street. RBWF, Roger Brutal Womblefucker. The whole Wimbledon thing's a cover. He's just over here to fuck wombles. And he's not even using his cock. He's just using things that he finds. Blah, 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 blah. And then also, because I can never think of anything, I'm going to pretend, this is a story, isn't it, about Roger Federer's written an animated series for children, RBWF, Roger's Badger Wank Farm. Then I'll desperately try and fucking improv something about him wanking off a badger. Do you know what? Let's not even fucking bother with this. Let's watch Andy Parsons get a few laughs in. And occasionally glaring at me in the edit as if I've just told a joke about badger wanking. It's actually turned into a bit of filing now. Don't worry, I'll find this fucking thing about Wimbledon and it will be semi-hilarious. Wimbledon, did you see that? This was what really got me. Fucking Tim Henman was commentating on the Wimbledon final. What does he know about it? You might as well have got Alan Kirbishley commentating on the opening of the Large Hadron Collider. Oh yeah, they've switched it on now and stuff's colliding at tremendous speeds. The lads are going to be very happy with that. They'll probably have a few beers tonight and talk about science. The roof at Wimbledon, you know what I think they should have done with the roof? Made the roof out of magnifying glass. So that when the sun shone through it, there would have been a powerful burning ray roving across the court. And obviously we don't want to kill anyone, so all the matches should have been played by giant ants. Andy Murray is a fantastic British number one, isn't he? But let's not forget that the British number two is actually Adrian Chiles. And the British number three is simply the concept of disappointment. Before Andy Murray, there wasn't even a British number one. It just started at two. I like him because he's beyond Scottish, isn't he? He's beyond pale. He's like a sort of living porridge. There were times when the sunlight seemed to just go right through him and create a rainbow against the scoreboards. Probably some of his opponents couldn't even see him. It must be like playing fucking Predator or something. A lot of the British players did badly the first. I watched the first rounds. A lot of the British players did very badly. Some of those people turned up with fucking snooker cues. Everyone goes on about Andy Murray's boring, right? He is boring and he's not got a sense of humour. You think, if you're going to practice ground strokes and footwork 8 hours a day, the last thing you want is to be blessed with a sense of fucking irony. There we go, sort of interesting rather than fucking... Is that... Well, that's shit. Not really, it's that shit. So I like women's tennis players because they fall into they fall into easily identifiable categories, don't they? There's always either lesbians, underwear models, and whatever the Williams sisters are. You know, people were saying that roof, they said the roof will mean that we'll never again have a moment like Cliff Richard singing that time when it rained. I think the roof's a lot of trouble to go to for that, isn't it? You can buy a gun in Brixton for 50 quid. There we go, so that was all right. How long have I been on here? Any ideas?